Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It is Sunday night, and that means that it is all right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your Sunday Night Addiction. I am your host, Menoth John. I am the president for life of War Machine and Hordes, and I am here tonight to wish each and every one of you a happy holiday. It's a little bit past, but think of me as your Boxing Day present a day after Boxing Day. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, with me I have the co-host with the mo-oh-ohs, the wind beneath my wings, the man that keeps it all on track. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Spencer.
Hello.
John, here we are.
Yep.
3 fucking years.
Year 3, yeah, no.
3 fucking years. Can you believe it?
Actually, it's hard to believe.
It kind of is. You know, when you think about it.
Technology would have gotten us by now.
Well, I know. You know, if you. So we're going to run some trivia over the course of here, because I just thought of doing that just now. We've been at this for 3 years, but how many people out there know which episode this is? Which episode number is this? And I'm looking at you, chat room. There are a few of you in there. For 3 years, you'd think we'd have more episodes than we do.
Well, for 3 years, it really can't be more than, I don't know, 160.
Yeah.
I mean, less 160 because math and all.
Yeah, and little known fact that we actually have no real idea how many episodes we've actually done.
I'm sure we could figure it out, but that would take some work.
Well, there's the way that this show progressed. For those of you who haven't heard the origin story, I'll tell it again. This started off on New Year's Eve 3 years ago, and it was a night that I'd been moved into my mom and dad's house here in Racine, Wisconsin, and imagine this, John. I couldn't get a date. This predates the Belinda Librarian and all that kind of good stuff. So I was at home and I figured, I might not be the only painting nerd that not only would it be 88-ish rave bomb, it would be 88. And so this is episode 88. But like I said, we don't know how many we really had. But on that date, we were starting on Ustream, of all things.
Yeah. Way back in the day.
So started on Ustream, was there for a while, and I was broadcasting the show using my MacBook Pro and a camera that I bought that was on an arm that I guess is supposed to be used for projecting for presentations. And it was a shitty quality camera, boy.
Yeah, I remember it was hard to see pictures of Bullwinkle.
Oh yeah, and that's what it started with. The first model ever painted on here was Bullwinkle, which is my judicator, and it's been a long time. Lots of models been painted since then, and we moved from. I'm sorry.
For you, at least.
Yeah, it started off with Adam Perdone as the co-host, and then things were busy for him, and John, who was there on episode 1, came on and. It's been an amazing, and I thank you so much, John, for everything you've done for the show. You've kept us on course, and you really have. No, I mean honestly, it's nice to have our Sunday night chats, which turn out other people want to listen to us. So.
Well, some people are crazy.
Yeah, people. You'll
I
laugh.
appreciate the heck out of those people.
You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll kiss 90 minutes goodbye. And
yep.
Sometimes we paint. We were painting more than we ever have before, which is good. I think we're kind of getting back to our roots. And without the Brushheads, without the folks that are on here right now, and the cronies that make it all happen through their support on patreon.com/menothjohn, without their support, who knows if we'd even still be here. But really appreciate everyone's support. And on behalf of my co-host, I'm having a shot of Kraken. What are you having, John? By the way, I'm having it in the bottoms up monkey glass, which was the original shot glass of Painting with Menoth John. Hey, Ron.
Ron.
So a few newsy things. The stream that we did with Ross Thompson, very well received, almost 500 views.
Excellent.
So, and long views. I mean, lots of minutes watched. So really, people have enjoyed it. I would highly encourage you guys to get out there, take a look at War Machine Tactics if you haven't done it before. I'm not getting anything from them other than happy feelings about playing the game. I had a great time. I'm going to play with Ross again. And once again, keep in mind, folks, we do have a thread on the Painting with Menoth John Facebook site that if you want to put your Steam name up there, and we'll add you and we'll play games with you and stuff, because sometimes we don't always paint. Sometimes we play little vidgy games.
Very little in my case, but
yeah.
If someone out there might be playing Borderlands 2 and want to team up, I'm in.
Yeah, hell yeah. Borderlands 2 is fun. Let's see. The Steam sale was this last week, and I purchased Portal and Portal 2 for $6.
Yeah, I saw it. I was thinking about it, but I think I'll wait till their next sale. I'm still got a lot of content in Borderlands 2 to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a wonderful game, but I have so many happy memories of playing Portal and Portal 2 that I had to go back and just make sure that cake was indeed still a lie. So turns out it is. So let's see. We have an update on the contest, John.
Yeah, how many entries do we have?
I don't know, but there's more. I don't have an exact number because that's like show prep and shit. Can't be doing that.
The number is high enough that he can't just recall it off the top of his head.
That's right.
I call that good.
Remember, we're giving away a whole shit ton of hell in here. It could be, John, that this was actually on the planet with Horus when he got corrupted by the chaos, because there's all kinds of. They got the hell battlement. We got the hell elevated terrain. It says hell elevated terrain, but I call it elevated because I ain't got time for that shit. And then we've got the hell barricade terrain. And if you send in a hardcore casual list, not a list, Runes of War, no. EE, no. We're talking about something you've come up with, you've dojoed yourself or with a friend, that is something that makes you happy to play. And we're going to put that into a PDF and just kind of put it out there so you can kind of see some of the lists that your fellow Brushheads are coming up with. And the patrons at the $1 level or higher will get the PDF after I make it. So, and I'll work very diligently. I can't imagine we're going to end the contest at the stroke of midnight when it turns 2016, and we will accept no further entries at that point. And then, John, you and I can get together and we'll either do it randomly or we'll figure something else out. And
yeah, random is the best way, I think.
Yeah, because I think you're right.
There's no contest between them. I mean, that's just personal opinion.
Yep.
You put in fun lists, that's all we care about.
Indeed. So we'll random it off and all that kind of good stuff, and it'll be super great. Maybe we can do it on the show. Should we do it on the show? And I could put the painting cam down and I could roll the dice. And people could see.
There you go.
We could see dice rolling. Speaking of dice rolling, I want to point people out that they should get over to Tectonic Craft Studios. Not an official sponsor of the Painting with Menoth John show, but a supporter of the show in spirit and in those kinds of things. That's Arcadan over there at Tectonic Crafts. I want to direct your attention, Brushheads, to the Everyman's Dice Tray. The Everyman's Dice Tray, it's very inexpensive. Was it $13, I think is what it is?
$12.
$12? Oh my God, it keeps on going lower. It was 13 not seconds ago. Now it's 12. So get on over there, and it is a very affordable laser burned wooden dice tray, and it's fabulous. You got a little compartment for your dice. You got a nice place to roll them, and I think that this should be on every gamer's table. because it keeps you from rolling those dice and knocking over miniatures and creating unrecoverable game states or whatever have you. But it's a beautiful thing, and you couldn't purchase it from a nicer guy with Arcadan. So if you want to support a good person, get on over there to Tectonic Craft. I will mention we do have some other sponsors here on the show. We have the Discount Games Incorporated. Jay, great guy. If you want to buy your models on the internet, he's the guy to go to. But we always recommend here on the Painting with Menoth John show that you go to your local game store, buy stuff from the folks that are giving you a place to play, because that's important. And if you're in Idaho Falls, make sure you get over to Gameopolis. That's Jay's brick and mortar. And you will have a great time. You can play on some great tables with great people. And I love everybody up there in Idaho Falls. They're super sweet people. Never had a bad game in Idaho Falls. One other thing, John, we have a Brushhead gallery coming up, don't we?
We do. Sometime early in January. Depends when Shoshi can make it.
Absolutely. And we're looking at that. She's going to get back to us hopefully in the next week or so. But we've already had some submissions going in. Please make sure when you send those to pwmenothjohn@gmail.com that you do put in their Brushhead gallery. That helps me search the Gmails to find all of the entries. And we'll do the same thing that we do each time. We'll find something back there in the old prize vault behind the Painting with Menoth John blanket. And did you notice, John, my super swank Christmas tree?
I did. I see the TARDIS there, very well framed in that.
Absolutely. We got a couple things. We have a pickle. You can see back there. We got a pickle. We got a Dalek. We have K9 up there.
K9 FTW.
Yep. These are our Sour Patch Kid flavored candy canes, which you can.
Got R2D2 up there too. It looks like.
Yep. We got R2D2 on there. We've got up here we got some R2D2 going on. This is a Sweet Tarts ornament because candy came in that one time. So, I didn't have a lot of ornaments, so I kept it. And let's see. Then there's this thing. This thing down here, the cats love. This one right here. They're all over that one. Let me tell you what. That's like a little bus. So cats like buses. We're going to break out some knowledge here for the Brushheads.
Cats like buses. Okay, fair enough.
And then we had one thing. We had a patron. He joined a while back, but he had not sent in what department he wants. But for those of you who would like a department in the administration for life of Painting with Menoth John, the presidency of War Machine and Hordes, if you'd like to be a part of the cabinet and help direct the next wonderful errata that I put out, those of you who remember the nerf on Haley and Denny 1 and Gorman, thank you. You can thank me. You're welcome. And so Jake Steele. John, is there any chance that this might be Dr. Steele?
Probably not.
No. Damn shame. Missed that guy. Director of Sellsword Contract Negotiation. I think every good administration needs that, don't you?
Yeah, mercenaries are an important part of any administration. You need someone to make sure they got proper contracts.
Absolutely. And without this guy, we're likely to lose our ass. Because I'm not good. I'm too nice of a guy. I mean, I can't get into...
Like that story in the beginning of the Mercenaries book where, Signar didn't write the no-compete clause into McBain's contract, so he came right back and attacked him.
Well, you can't be having that happen.
Exactly.
Clearly.
They could have used someone like Jake Steele.
Absolutely. So, Jake, welcome to the cabinet. We appreciate your support there at www.patreon.com/MenothJohn. For those of you who are not patrons, if you are enjoying this show, we would encourage you to contribute. We will talk about you on the show in very favorable terms. We will absolutely give you a department of your choosing. Neither Hillary Clinton nor Donald Trump are going to give you a cabinet position unless you pay a lot of damn money. We, on the other hand, are very reasonable. I think you get a lot for your membership here, don't you, John?
Indeed.
You get the pre-ramble, which if you are not a crony, we had a very insightful pre-ramble on this show. We talked about kind of this. We did a little bit of a state of the game on War Machine and Hordes, and perhaps some opportunities were identified where things could be better. Mm-hmm. And so I would encourage you. It's at the $1 level, $1 per episode. We will never charge you for more than 4 episodes a month. So it's not like we're going to ring it up or anything like that. So that would be unethical, and that's not what we're about. So
Definitely not.
get over to the Patreon. We haven't had like any new patrons in a long time, but that's okay. We love the ones we have, and so come on in. The water's fine. We have cookies, pie, cake, whatever. We're not going to give those to you, but you can get some, and then you can have them and think about us. So that's all the business shit we got, and we're as usual right on time.
As usual.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint tonight, John.
Excellent.
I'm
finishing up some Doomy 3.
I am going to finish up some Doomy 3. I hope. We have. I'm bringing the painting cam right now as we speak, and I've got here's Doomy, and I'm going to get another long. Let's see, we got here a Strongbow hard apple cider, and I'm going to open it up with a Crony Inner Circle bottle opener available at the $5 support level, and we're going to open that up.
Awesome. I'm drinking Smirnoff Ice because, hey, I like little drinks like that.
Yeah, why not? You drink. We here at Painting with Manoff, John. You play what you want, and you drink what you want.
Absolutely. If you like Miller Lite, drink your Miller Lite.
Like, I can't recommend that, however. I can't recommend that.
Sorry, I had to.
That's fine. Oh, by the way, we should probably update. This is the anniversary show, and it's been a year. There's your ball of green stuff, folks.
Uh-oh.
So let's put this in perspective. Here's the ball of green stuff, and here is Doomy 3 next to each other. So for scale, it's roughly the size. You could probably have sculpted Doomy 3 out of the green stuff that I have left over this year. So for those of you who I haven't done many updates on this, but hey Banyan, welcome. This is the amount of green stuff I wasted this year assembling things. So if I'd used, this would be larger if I had gone after the finishing up all of the green stuffing on the Glacier King. But every time that I had a little bit left over, I rolled it into a ball, and I think what I'm going to do with this, John, is I think I'm going to try and cut it in half, so I can look at because it's probably got a lot of layers to it. So I imagine that it's going to be pretty interesting. It's probably going to look like a tree. So there you go. This is, and I'm going to get here's my Sharpie marker. I'm going to mark it 2015.
There you go.
So this is the green stuff ball. I encourage each and every one of you to start green ball for yourself. 2015, the year of the little ball of green. There you go. It looks so cute over there. All right, so I'm gonna paint this stuff now. Here's Doomy. He's actually coming along quite well. I just noticed down here in the bottom I've got one little scroll to finish up, so I'm gonna get me my. I've been painting the scroll's jackbone, and then I'll go back and wash and do other fancy stuff to it. But how was Christmas to you, John?
That was okay.
What'd you do for Christmas, buddy?
For Christmas, I went over to my mom's, and we just had some family over and ate some food and hung out and watched some TV, just chatted. Kind of low key.
Nice. I had a very fun. I had a really fun Christmas Eve. Since being in a relationship with Belinda's family is amazing. They are really nice people, and each year we all kind of get together at her. Well, this year it was at her mom's, and I think last year was at her mom's too. But we're going to next year. It's at Casa John. Very excited about that. I have not hosted a Christmas Eve ever, and so we got together, and we do a name exchange kind of a thing, and my name came up. But it was one of her brother's daughters got my name, and she got me a Stormtrooper coffee Starbucks thing. It was a coffee cup, and it was "May the froth be with you," and I really liked that. She did it. Her name's Tessa. She hit it out of the park. She couldn't be less of a nerd. So for her to make the stretch was really awesome, and I very much appreciate it. And I guess they also got me a T-shirt, but it didn't come in time. But I'm excited to get that too. Turns out this is how small a world it is out here in Racine, Wisconsin. Her mom knew me in high school. I didn't know her so well, but she knew of me, so that's good. And she's a very nice lady. Her name's Lisa, and they couldn't be a nicer family. And all of Belinda's family is super amazing. So we had just had a great time. We had Bad Santa on the television. My son was in the room. Does that make me a terrible father?
Nah, it's not that bad of a movie. We watched, I guess, the Toy Story, the Toy Who Saved Christmas, or some such thing.
Okay.
One of their more new ones. It was
Okay.
actually pretty good. I thought it was well done. And then we started to watch Elf when I left because Will Ferrell.
Not a fan?
Not a fan of Will Ferrell. So here's my semi rant on comedy movies. The classic comedy movies like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, they know how to tell a joke and then move on.
Good point.
Modern ones tell the joke and then beat it into the ground.
Yeah.
Because a lot of jokes, they get to that point where it starts to become uncomfortable. I don't like that. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is my favorite because every time they move on from the joke fast enough.
I'm in a different place as far as Will Ferrell is concerned, and that's okay. Whatever. To each their own. I I can't stop laughing when I watch Celebrity Jeopardy.
Okay, that's genius. That's comedy genius. That does it too because it moves on from each joke because that's sort of the format. I also like Talladega Nights. I just don't like much else he does.
I love Talladega Nights. I like Brothers.
I haven't seen Step Brothers
Step
yet.
Brothers, yeah.
I mean, obviously, I actively avoid Will Ferrell movies because I haven't liked most of them. But
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I gotta see what else.
I'm also weird in the humor department because humor is very subjective and very mood dependent. A lot of things people think are great comedies, I don't laugh too much at.
And I think that comedies in the cinema are difficult to pull off. I think it's difficult to do a good, universally accepted comedy because comedy is such a personal experience, and it's very hard to pull it off so that it's universally accepted. That's why I think adventure and action movies do so well on the big screen is because it's a formula that you can pull off, and have it be something that everyone can experience. Everybody can experience the roller coaster ride, so to speak.
Well, yeah, but you can put comedy into one of those. Comedy as a genre,
true.
you either have to tell it in a very good way and have little skits almost and move on quick like I like, in my opinion, or you have to have a very interesting story to frame it in.
Did you ever watch the Kentucky Fried Movie?
I have. I enjoy the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. I mean, it's one of those movies that it's a series of vignettes, and I think that while those don't happen frequently, the ones that have been done. I mean, what other movies have been like that? There's a couple other that are like that.
Well, there's a lot of them that are like that, but they hide it well. They have a sort of meta structure, if you will, and they keep moving. Actually, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is sort of the same deal.
You can make that.
There's like a meta story, but it's lots of little joke vignettes.
True.
And they move on till the end. They move on pretty well from it. At the end, they just do it well enough that it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Blues Brothers is similar too. It's a lot of little joke vignettes.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie too. I think the last comedy that everyone really liked that I actually liked also was oh God, I don't remember the name. Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr.
Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr.
They're filming like a movie on Vietnam.
Oh shit! Yeah, I can't remember what the hell it was.
Tropic Thunder.
There you go.
I actually legitimately enjoyed that movie. Don't know, they just did it well. On the other hand, something like Anchorman, which you'll really love, I'm kind of meh on. I like some portions, but I don't watch it as a movie.
I think I've always enjoyed Anchorman, and I think that the recap after the battle scene.
Oh yeah,
almost
the battle scene into the recap is genius.
It almost carries the whole movie.
Not quite. A lot of the rest of it brings it back. But anyways, back to subject. Good Lord, sorry, I got us off topic.
Oh, whatever. What were we talking about? Christmas.
Christmas.
So yep, and then I got some really cool gifts from Belinda because she's amazing. I got an Abelskever pan. Do you know what an Abelskever pan is?
I'm not even sure I could say it.
Okay, it's a Danish thing. I'm very Danish, and
Big Danish, isn't it?
what's that?
No, I'm being an ass. Go ahead.
Okay, it's Danish pancake puffs. So
Oh, oh, I saw it on Facebook.
yep. Imagine a pancake that is shaped like a racquetball, and you have what an apple skeever is, and it was something that my mom did, and she used to make them, and I didn't get a I didn't I'm not going to go into it on the air. I didn't have a pan. We'll just leave it at that. And the it was amazing. And then what we did was here this weekend, Dan Nebraska, who is the man that is uh, doing a lot of the remodeling on my house, who, if you ever need anything done in the greater Milwaukee and Racine area, handymanish, remodeling kind of thing, Dan Nebraska Services is the only place to go. But we had him and we made some for him, and he had lunch with us. It was very nice. So, but
Cool.
got that, and then I got the Cannonball Run on Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray, he beat me. I've got it on DVD, but not on
I
Blu-ray.
got it on Blu-ray, folks. So Farrah Fawcett in Blu-ray. Boom.
Speaking of
Shakalaka.
pretty good comedies, but that's almost vignette-like too.
Yeah, and Adrian Barbeau. Anyway,
Yeah.
there you go. So thank you very much, Belinda, for all the awesome. And she also got me an Alanis Morissette disc, which was very nice. I enjoyed that. We were
Oh.
listening to it in the car today, and that was very, very nice. And
Newer or older stuff.
yep, I heard. I mean, Jagged Little Pill is a masterwork.
Yeah.
But it was a newer one. It's still very good. So it's a nice listen. And,
No, her stuff's been pretty good. I remember years ago hearing her on the Chronicles of Narnia soundtrack, and I'm like, she's still got it.
yeah, she does still have it. She's a nice artist. The other thing she got me was, and she didn't even realize she was getting this for me, which is interesting. She bought me a graphic novel of Mad Max Fury Road. She thought she was getting me the graphic novel adaptation. Oh, he's going to get something. She thought she was getting me the graphic novel adaptation of the movie. What she actually got me was a graphic novel. What she actually got me was a graphic novel, that one that John's
like
holding
this?
up right now, that is 4 origin stories essentially. They go back and tell the story of Nux and Immortan Joe and Furiosa, and
Don't spoil anything because I haven't read it yet.
no, I'm not going to spoil anything. And then also a couple that goes into Max's history and fills up some of the holes between Fury Road and the rest of the movies. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I have not read the whole thing yet because I wanted to savor it. And it's a good read. And what I read the preface on it, because what's interesting is that these are not like money grabs. These comic books were actually drawn before the movie so that George Miller could convey to the actors their backstory.
Sweet.
That's awesome. And so
Looking forward to reading it.
yep, I really enjoyed it. It is dark. Holy shit, it's dark. But you get the story of how Furiosa got involved with the wives, and that's worth its weight in gold all by itself. So highly recommend that book that you just saw John holding up with the Mad Max. It's a thin trade. It's only 4 comic books, but really worth it. Great read. There you go. So I had a very nice one, and the kids had a great one too. We got them Nerf guns because
That's what you do.
yeah, because a 9 and a 12-year-old should stand 2.5 feet from each other with their Nerf guns on full automatic, just wailing on each other.
Because
So-
that's what you do.
That's right. Kids are either doing it completely right or completely wrong. One of the two. I'm not sure.
Well, as long as they're having fun, they're doing it right.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. They were out there for hours. And then I got my younger boy Lego Dimensions, which is a video game, but you have to assemble it. And Neek, if
I've
you're
heard of it.
Neek, yeah, hats off to you guys. Did a great job on this one. Really enjoyed it. I got him the Portal 2. We got Back to the Future, Scooby-Doo. It came with Gandalf and a lot of the characters from the Lego movie, Batman, Wild Style, all those kinds of things. And it was it's a fun little game, and he's really enjoying it. The the other thing that when they were at Belinda's parents, my older boy got Star Wars Battleship.
Oh, I heard about that. I was at the local game store, and someone was really excited to see it on the shelves.
Yeah, super excited about it. So they haven't busted out. They don't realize how cool that's going to be.
It seems cool. I mean, they've done a lot of good work with some of those classic games, sort of updating them to be competitive in the modern board game market.
Yep. So I think I know Charles is going to visit his mom in Texas on tomorrow, and that's awesome for him. I'm glad he's getting a chance to do that and see his mom and stuff. But Jake and I are all in on the Battleship. I'm also going to hopefully try and teach him Guild Ball and maybe try to get him a spark on the old War Machine too, so I have somebody else here in the house to play with.
Fair enough.
I worry if that boy gets good at War Machine because he's pretty smart. He'll start kicking my ass up one side and down the other.
That's what usually happens. The next generation ends up being better than the one before it.
Yep. Well, I can't get much worse than I am, so it's all good. So, in case you've been wondering what I've been doing here on the old painting thing here, I'm about to add the next layer of skin to my trolls. So, the way I do my skin on my trolls, if you're ever interested on this, is because I'm lazy. What I do with my skin on my trolls is I paint white where the skin is, then I wash it once with Gilliman Blue, which helps give it some ultramarine love. So, and then we do the Druishi Violet, which is what gives them the final purple. And it's very simple. It works really good. And I just just put it on there and it works. And that gives me the purple that you see my trolls typically have. I don't know if I got my mic up a little bit too high today or what's going on here. I'm not getting quite the sound quality I usually like to get. So
Ruh-roh.
no, it's okay. I don't. It's not like anything's like wrong or anything like that. It's just I'm having to bend my neck a little bit more than normal. You know I'm old, John. I don't want to bend my neck.
That's fair. That's fair.
So anyway. So anyhow, so here we are. We're 3 years in, and we've been talking a little bit about this. So the first little bit of see if anybody can remember this, who the very first guest on Painting with Menoth John, and it was on episode 1. If anyone can recall that, we're going to put that out to the chat room and anybody else who's listening. We only have 8 people tonight. Holidays.
Holidays are a thing.
So,
but we appreciate all 8 of you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd be doing this if there was 1.
That's true.
We'd be doing it if it was 0, but it would be less fun. So who was the first guest? And I'll give you this hint. He's been on the show, other than that one time. He has been on the show before, since then. So, anyway. So, that's all. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot planned for tonight, John.
No, not really. I can go through my Christmas. I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I'll be honest. I'll start with a little bit of downer. I was a little depressed Christmas morning, but that's due to life situations. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Luckily, not Brushhead or occasional Brushhead Creekins, who's currently in Germany, house sitting, which is a great experience for her. Had bought me a gift at the local comic shop, which was that graphic novel I showed you in another one. So I had something to open in the morning. That really brightened my day.
Nice. Nice. Wait, I got to understand this, John. She's in Germany house sitting?
Yeah, she's house sitting for someone she knew on the internet. Just an opportunity came up. I mean, if you got to go to Germany, all you had to do was get there and pay for food and stuff when you're there. No lodging. I mean, most of us would take the chance.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's cool.
It's nice that person, whoever she knew, that kind of threw that out there as an opportunity because, wow, that's something.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, she's got a lot of close connections internet wise. You know how that is, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do. Wouldn't you say that Neek who's in Denmark but originally from the Netherlands? I mean, the people that I know that I've met because of this show and stuff is just humbling as all get out.
Yep. So, rest of Christmas wise, my niece got me a screwdriver set, which she's like, I don't know why Grandma told me to buy this for you. I'm like, I know why, because I need a screwdriver set.
There you go.
She was just tickled pink that it was something I actually legitimately needed. She was just sort
Yay.
of confused as to why. My mom had bought me a nice suit that I'm getting uh, altered right now to properly fit me.
Nice.
That was my big Christmas present. But she got me some DVDs, one of which I'll be reviewing here later.
Nice.
The rest of which I'll be reviewing at a further time. And a lot of little stuff. You know, I got this Avengers T-shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah, I thought that
Shows you
was
some
new.
cool stuff. But I had bought myself, if you count, technically, I'd say I bought myself a bunch of stuff from Malifaux on their Black Friday deal. If you buy enough stuff, they give you extra models that are limited and you can't get any other way inherently.
Cool.
They usually become available later, and they're usually just alternate poses for stuff, which is really a cool way of doing things.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I jumped in on that for a bunch of stuff. I got 2 alternate models that I'm actually giving to Creakin as her Christmas present because she wanted them.
Yay. Yay.
But I bought a bunch of models there that I'm putting together, and I got an Amazon Echo for myself, which is pretty cool.
So, what does the Echo do exactly? What is its thing? Because I'm unfamiliar with the technologies.
God, it's kind of like having a Bluetooth speaker with some minor limitations that also functions sort of like Siri.
Okay. So,
So
what?
I can talk to it. It's voice activated. It tells me weather and traffic and stuff, sort of like you would for Siri. It also plays all the music off your Amazon music library, which since I had to upgrade my computer to Windows 7, I had to put my music somewhere. So I just uploaded it there.
That's a really good idea. At some point here, all my music library is right now on iTunes on a computer that is old. And I'll be very honest with you, since switching to this Origin PC, the chances of me ever going back to Mac are almost nothing. There's 0% chance that I'm going to go back. This PC is everything I've ever wanted a PC to be and more. So I need to find a way to transfer that stuff, and I don't know if I'm going to lose half my music or what's going to happen, but I've also got
Uh,
Spotify now because I'm a Starbucks employees get a free premium account,
well, that's cool.
so it's
If you
nice.
got of that stuff, you don't need as much music. I mean, if
Yeah.
you've got it on CD, I wouldn't worry about it. But if it's stuff you've purchased and you're a little worried about, um, I'd either get one of the ones you have to pay for. You have to pay for a Google Drive account or a Dropbox, or if you want to, you can just if you do enough Amazon stuff, you can pay for Amazon's, and they give you 250 songs for free, which is not very much. That's not counting anything that's you bought through Amazon, or you can pay and they'll give you uh, 2005 no 2500 25,000 songs. Sorry,
Wow, that's a lot of songs.
yeah, more than I have. That's impressive because I have a lot. So it's like $20 a month or 20 bucks a year or something like that. It's no big deal.
Okay, is that
But I figured since I got the Echo, I might as well.
is that in addition to the Prime?
In addition to Prime, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um,
But like I said, I mean, with Spotify now being just a thing that I can do, it's as long as that partnership still exists,
yeah.
I'm in pretty good shape.
and if I had Spotify, I could run it through Echo. I can run Pandora through Echo.
Oh, that's cool.
It's actually pretty cool. It's kind of a frivolous expenditure at this point. They've got a lot of promises and a lot of things that you can buy to go with it. If I get the right Wi-Fi light socket things, I could have it control lights in the apartment and all.
That's cool.
But it was a little cool gift for myself, and since I got the wired headphones, I had to get something to listen to while I'm painting and all. So I figured, why not get the cool stuff?
You know something, buddy? With the year that you've had, ain't nothing wrong with giving yourself a present.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I enjoy the heck out of it. I'll tell you, voice activated it's the future, and it's awesome.
Well, every time for those of you who don't, I mean, we don't even put this on the pre-ramble, but usually John, when we first do the Skype call, he'll tell it to kind of put itself to sleep, and it's impressive. It just instantly recognizes and does what he wants it to do. So it seems as though it's one of those technologies that has finally come of age, and it just sort of works.
Yeah, and I'm always scratching the surface. Apparently, there's lots of some websites telling you like, here's the cool stuff you can do with it, funny stuff. It's just cool.
So Blazing Napalm asked, you buy a beast of a tower. Yes, I bought a beast of a tower. I have an Origin Chronos, and it is, I put it in the bigger tower configuration rather than the small cube. And I will tell you that I will not go back. Origin is my computer provider for life. They are, man, they are super sweet and totally legit.
Awesome.
And the podcast runs approximately 400,000 times better on it than it ever did on the MacBook. But,
Approximately.
you know, now and so interesting, John. I was contacted by Jackie Christensen, who is Keith's wife. Who Jackie and I have been buds since before those two had even met, and she would reach out to me to ask some questions because she's going to start a stream,
Oh, sweet.
and she likes puzzles, so she's going to be doing a puzzle stream, and I think it's going to be really cool. Jackie's a lovely lady who is a very nice person, and I think that all of you will enjoy it, and I'll keep everybody up to date on what she's going to do. And maybe we can have her on to talk about it, and she can kind of show off the kind of puzzles she's going to work on. But because I think that's a wonderful thing to have on when you're painting.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. It's a good background, pay attention once in a while type of thing.
Yeah.
I've actually been liking, if I'm not listening to music, I actually like concert DVDs. Because something visual if you need to look up and need your eyes to get something different to look at.
Yep.
And it's audio too. So
I found a so I think it's no I think it's no mystery that I enjoy the fluff of 40K very much, and I'm enjoying reading the Horse Heresy, the first four Horse Heresy novels very much. And I found a channel on YouTube called like 40K Secrets or something like that, where it's all fluff. Couldn't be better. And they're talking about all the different bits and bobs of the different factions and stuff like that. I'm just eating it up. And I just love it to death. So that's another YouTube channel. If you're not subscribing to us on YouTube, here at YouTube/Manoth John, you should be subscribing to that. But also try that one out, and then I'll keep everybody looped in on what our friend Jackie is doing. Jackie's a nice person. She is smart as a damn whip. She's a nurse, and she's in school to get her master's for nursing. And then she is also a mom. She and Keith had just a beautiful baby this year, and so it's a very exciting year for them. That's for sure. And they seem to be a very happy and wonderful couple, and I'm very happy for them. So, here's to you guys. Man, I just wish I could get to the point where I could start washing this model.
well, unfortunately, you can't rush it.
No. You know what you can't do is you can't put your goddamn fingers on the Gilliman blue before it dries up.
Yeah, I like to wash models and put them aside for a while and do something else in the meantime.
I may have made a couple mistakes on this one. We'll see.
Mistakes were made.
They were, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to put that away. But so it's fun to be kind of here for the last 3 years and just having fun making models look better and stuff like that. So I'm going to try something. This is Ryan Goes, our minister of great times. This is his Jarl, and I'm going to start painting his for a little bit too.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to get some paint on his stuff.
I haven't painted anything in a while, but I've been assembling Malifaux models. Still as fiddly as ever. Holy moly.
I've got a Guild Ball model I got to paint too. I got to get that guy, the last of the season 1 guys for the Brewers. And I need maybe I'll save him for next week's show.
Cool. Yeah, do a little change of pace for the new year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't have to just talk about War Machine and Hordes. We'll talk about all sorts of games.
No, we'll talk about any of them. We'll probably play some. There's a big upheaval, John, in the YouTube for this show. The Menoth John YouTube. The Rivet Wars video is no longer the #1 most watched video of on that channel.
What?
That's right. What has overtaken it, you say? A video of the 2-hour loop of the Bob Ross theme now has more views than the Rivet Wars video.
Speaking of good painting music.
Yep. So in case you didn't know that I did that, on my YouTube channel, I took the interlude theme that was part of the Bob Ross experience on his show, the Joy of Painting, and I looped it for 2 hours. That was a project I did many years ago, as my now ex-wife had wanted something to help to go to sleep to, and so that was I took that loop, and it's the same one that I now use for the ending of the show, and put that on a YouTube video. So it's on there. Just Bob Ross 2 hour loop. Look for it, and you can find some fine painting music there. So,
Indeed, it's good for painting, or even if you can find the Bob Ross episodes, like we found out, they're actually really good for background for that.
they're amazing. Bob Ross is just such a genius, and he is without question the spirit animal of this show when it comes to just his attitude and the fact that this show isn't about necessarily being an amazing painter. It's about having the will and the spirit to show up and just try. That's all we want
Yep.
you to do, is we just want you to try. And I'm not a great painter. I'm a middle of the road painter, and but I enjoy the heck out of the hobby, and it's a opportunity to get together with you guys on a Sunday night and have a good time. So
Absolutely.
this is
Sorry,
gonna look a lot better once I get some paint on the base. Don't be sorry, man. I know you're chatting with some of the folks, and the thing that when we started this show 3 years ago, John. Well, you weren't here exactly at 3 years, but the idea to start the show was we wanted it to be interactive. We wanted the chat room to be active during the show,
Oh, yeah.
because
That's why I stayed before I was co-host, because I like being interactive.
yep, and that's why you got the job as co-host, is because you were interactive and you were someone who was always a stalwart there in the chat room, somebody I could count on, and that's why I asked you to be a part of the team here, and I appreciate it very much.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
So I'm looking for a new co-host. Just kidding. Never in a million years. When you go away as co-host, this show goes away, because it wouldn't be the same without you, boss.
Well, I appreciate that too.
All right, so we got this. So that's a little bit of pressure for you to stick around. We're getting there on this. There's this rock everywhere here. Ryan did a really interesting base. I believe that this is he sculpted this out of green stuff, and it's really nicely done. And I'm doing it in a sandstone kind of a thing. He gave me full creative control, and I haven't done a sandstone base in some time. I'm kind of a painted desert kind of a look to it. And what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna wash it down with a little bit of what used to be Devlin Mud and is now Egger's Earthshade. And then what I'll do is I'll build it back up with various and sundry yellows and tans to kind of give you that sandstony kind of a look to it.
It's tough. I tried to do a lot of sandstone, and it was not working as well as I liked. I had a lot of test bases.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to pull off. I got a lot of practice on it when I was doing my Signar back in the day when I was painting Signar, but that's part of the past. All my Signar is now in a battle foam case that I don't know what I'm going to do with.
Well, you'll find
So-
someone for it eventually.
Yep.
Rumor has it there's a Facebook page about that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get back, and I have to take some better pictures of it. Speaking of taking pictures, John, we're going to be having Robert Durevsky on the show.
Oh, sweet.
He is going to. So those of you who are not familiar with Robert, you might want to go ahead and do a Google search for Flight Medic painting. An amazing blog that he does. He's mentioned the show a few times on there as something that has been an inspiration to him to kind of getting back into the hobby. That always makes me very happy, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Hey.
like being inspirational to people.
Yep. And so we're gonna have him on, and he's gonna be doing like we did with Chris Surrey, and like we did with sometimes with other guests. We're gonna have him do kind of an instructional thing, and the idea is gonna be to get at photography, because Robert's big thing is photography, and he takes some beautiful pictures. If you saw any of the pictures that came out of War Machine Weekend, Robert did the photography on those, and he is a master at lighting and taking the pictures. So we'll have him on, and he'll be doing a class, a little tutorial. He sent me some notes. I'm going to turn it into a PowerPoint because that's basically what I do for a job. And then we'll go ahead and we'll have it on the show, and it'll be super, super amazing.
Awesome.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to it. He's a cool dude.
Yep. So you're jumping back into Rhett, John. I see in the
Yeah, I might be jumping back into Rhett. Mercs aren't really doing it for me. That's part of that, if you will, problem with War Machine of Hordes is they haven't gotten anything really amazing to use aside from Cephalix.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, and Rich Brotman from the Beer Machine podcast is jumping out of Cephalix to go back into Rhett because he's really struggling with them.
I didn't really struggle with them. I've actually I lost one game, but that was sort of a game I could run away and have like a really huge chance of winning, or I could go on, see what kind of cool stuff I could do. Because let's be honest, guys, when you're playing a game, there's nothing at stake unless you're in a tournament. Just try some cool stuff, see what you can do. Nothing teaches you like actual game experience.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
Sometimes it might happen where you can't just run away and have a good chance of winning the game. It might be closer, and sometimes knowing if you can live through that or do that might be the answer.
Absolutely, and so he's going back to Rhett. You're going back to Rhett.
Probably. I'm not sure.
I'm having fun with Rhett. I've had some fun recently with Rhett. I hauled out the Mercs just because I had that list from the from the Drunk Dojo.
Drunk Dojo?
Yeah. And so I should probably report it on that. I played the Bart Galleon list, and I was playing it against a gentleman, Sean, who is from the Kenosha store that I play in. And he was playing a Cray list that had Gallant and a Dynamo, and he had a Minuteman. And
Dynamo's pretty legit.
Yep, and it was absolutely it was a knockdown drag out. There's no two questions about it. Could have gone either way, but the Galleon was just a bully long enough for me to pull it out. He ended up killing the Galleon, which is kind of what happens. But by that time, I had taken a pretty strong lead in control points, and I was able to force him out from coming over and killing me. But it could have.
More importantly, how did the precursors do?
The precursors did fine. They did fine. It was not an opponent that they were able to really shine against.
Yeah.
But what they did do is they did a fine job of tar pitting his heavy jacks, and maybe he could have used tramples better, perhaps, to get out of it. But I was jamming him up with precursors and trying to put him in position to kind of stymie him, to make him not want to take those free strikes, or that you would put him in a position because of he didn't have a lot of reach in the list. It made it very difficult for him to kind of get to the back lines where I was hiding more precursors that were there to prevent him from getting across the table and getting into to Galleon with all of his Stormblades all at once, or his jacks.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what, though. Stormblades, you better take care of them suckers before they get to the things you love.
Oh, yeah. They hit pretty hard.
They hit
this just in.
They hit real damn hard, and they went ahead and did a fine job of removing our good friend Galleon from the table.
People joke about him like they are, if the leader's nearby, they are POW 15, which is roughly equivalent to a POW 11 or 12 Weapon Master.
Yep, and everybody loves a POW 12 Weapon Master. It's actually probably a more reliable version of a Weapon Master. They don't spike quite as hard, but
less swingy, and actually you don't need to spike as hard to make it as good because you've already got that 3 there.
Yep. So I mean, I went in there and it was a knockdown drag out. There's no two ways about it, and my opponent could not have been cooler, and I just had a great time with it. So I highly recommend that list. If you haven't given it a try, give it a shot. I saw one of the Brushheads did a video on with the Doomy 3 list.
Huh?
Jesus Christ, have mercy. That list. Holy cow. That could be causing some negative play experiences throughout the area. Doomy 3's good. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's definitely seems like he's got all the tools to be a good caster.
Yep. So that was fun, and I'm hoping to get a game in tomorrow. We'll see. If not, then I will stay home and hang out with my older boy, and we'll do something fun. Maybe I'll teach him how to play War Machine, because I know he'd be at least fun to play against. Anyway, I'm still painting on this guy.
Well, let's do some questions up before it gets too late.
Yeah, sure. I'm just rambling on here tonight, aren't I?
Oh, that's all right. That's what we do.
It's kind of our modus operandi.
So I'm going to start with your one from Drake Scott, who congrats us for 3 years and says,
Yay.
"Do we have any tips for painting non-metallic metal?"
Nope, not a single one.
I'm going to put that under painting notes so that we'll get to that when we get a good painter on. Maybe Shoshi.
Yeah,
She
well,
might have some notes on that.
Shoshi would
Check
be
that shit.
Shoshi would be an excellent resource on that. Guys, I love the fact, and I post in War Machine Painting, which probably opens us up to having more tech painting discussions than I am capable of actually doing. But I don't paint non-metallic metals. Boy, they look amazing when good people do them. I am simply not capable of giving a demonstration or any kind of advice on it.
Yeah, it's definitely an advanced technique. It's not me.
No, we're good at drinking booze and talking on the internet, and then we kind of paint a little bit too. But there you go.
All right. So next one's an old one that apparently we answered on the unrecorded Bob Ross show.
Yep.
It was from Martin Schreck. He says, if you decide on a narrative campaign by name only, which would you pick? Dr. Rage, From Kador with Love, Full Metal Arcanist, Glaciers Are Forever, Ravensguard, The Old Blood, or Tomorrow Never Comes?
Glaciers Are Forever, I think. I don't even remember how I answered this the last time, but I'm going to go with Glaciers Are Forever because it gives me a chance to play my Glacier King, and I just haven't had time to actually pull the big boy out of the case and goof with him a whole lot. But I think that would be super fun, and maybe it would tell the story of how Doomshaper went up and got the Glacier Kings or something like that.
Cool. I'm hit or miss. I think I'd probably go with Dr. Rage. That just sounds amusing, very superhero-y, which is my actual chosen genre of choice.
Martin, by the way, is also Marth Fright. If you've ever seen Marth Fright, that's his real name. He went and got himself married, so he's he went. Now he's actually like using his real name.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? So of Marth and the Machines and all those kind of guys. One of the fellows I met when I met Neek through the Dice Rage Live kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, great guy.
All right. Let's see. Next, let's go to David Cameron.
Yep.
He goes, John, how are you so awesome?
Well, I think he's asking about you.
Well, you could practice with both of us. I mean,
Sure.
It's an easy question. Hard work and dedication.
Pain and agony. It's been a long slog to get to here, and 3 years of podcasting and kind of being a dickhead sometimes, and now I'm better than I used to be. So it's good. Yeah, there. Hard work.
Cool. Cody Anderson asks, will you ever return to Protectorate? And that's obviously directed at you because I have never played Protectorate, though I have owned some.
I will return to Protectorate from the standpoint that I will play some. I probably will never ever return to it as a primary faction, and here's why. And it's nothing against Protectorate. And this is a controversial statement because we're known for controversial statements on this show, John. We really are.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say it right here, right now. I don't have that much time to play, and given that, Hordes is easier.
That's true.
And so Protectorate of the factions that are not easy, aka War Machine, is effing hard because you have to activate that army just right if you want it to work the way it's supposed to. And while Protectorate's cool, and I love, man, there are a few things in life better than Judicator under the battle song. With Ayanna and Holt giving a harm out, plus a rust bomb. Man, that's hot, dirty sex. Ignited, that's hot, dirty sex. And it's ooh, oh man, now I want to play Protectorate. But anyway, but that's it. I mean, for me, because I play so infrequently, it's just better if I yank the trolls out of the thing. Not because trolls as a faction are necessarily the easiest thing in the world, but boy, I tell you what, being able to force for more attacks is cures a multitude of sins. So, John, that might actually be a question you can answer to a certain extent. Is there a faction that you don't currently play that you would consider going back to on a regular basis?
The only one I could really go back to, if you want to be technical, would be Signar, and no, I'll never go back to Signar. They
Yeah.
have nothing in my mind that I can't get from mercenaries, except for casters who might be slightly more powerful, and honestly, they never really did anything for me. So,
Blazing Napalm just mentioned in the chat room, thank you for acknowledging that Protectorate's hard to play. Well, for God's sakes, it's an order of activation army. And order of activation armies, in my opinion, are the hardest armies to play. Because if you don't get it just right, everything falls, the knot starts untying. And furthermore, order of activation armies that are as support heavy as Protectorate is, if you provide your enemy with, or your opponent, I should say, with kind of a roadmap to victory, and that is untie the knot and you win. Other armies are less obvious on what you're supposed to do against them. For example, Legion, kill it till it's dead, is probably your only option.
they have some support things. If you can start taking out their
The
Forsaken
Fury
and their
Management, yeah.
Shepherds,
Good point.
you start to give them the same problem, but not to the same extent.
No, you start if you have something that can reach out and touch someone, like touching the choir in a naughty place. Like let's say I'm playing my Jarl Fire Mountain list that I want to talk about on this show on a regular basis. Magic Bullet. You want to talk about an army that hates Magic Bullet,
Oh yeah,
and to get to do it twice a turn on a regular basis equals Protectorate sad times.
that could be 2 dead choir. I mean, honestly, Jarl with 4 expenditure could potentially take out a minion to choir by himself.
Yeah, without question, and not even breathe hard doing it. So,
Nope.
I think that yes, Protectorate is there's a reason that they don't necessarily do terribly well on a regular basis at quote unquote the highest levels, and that is because first off, not as many people are playing them, and secondly, it's a darn difficult one to play. And if your goal is to win, then maybe you pick something that has less opportunity to short circuit on you in the middle of a game, and that is Protectorate will short circuit on you. Someone will pull out the wrong damn lever, and then you're swinging in the breeze. So there you go.
All right. Well, next, easy one, David Cameron.
That
Wants
guy.
to know if either of us are planning on attending SmogCon again in 2016.
No.
No, I'm not quite remotely at a point where I go overseas yet.
No, I'm planning on probably coming overseas, but it won't be for a gaming convention. It'll be because Belinda loves going overseas, and I want to take my kids with me. And to be very honest with you folks, my priorities these days have nothing to do with miniatures gaming. They have an awful lot to do with this amazing lady that's come into my life and my 2 amazing kids that I want to provide them opportunities I never had as a child. And if my condo's up on the market, by the way, John.
Oh, is it?
So once that bad boy gets sold, then other opportunities will make themselves available.
Oh, I understand that.
But for now, I need to focus on that stuff. That's the right thing to do. And
Yeah,
and
I got
Dragon,
a little something, a little egg I'm nursing that if it goes for the right amount as it could on eBay, I could end up with some ability to go to a con out of state, somewhere fun.
yeah. Well, there you go. And it's I had an amazing time at SmogCon, and I sure loved meeting Sherwin, who eventually ended up, with us here at having KR Multicase as a sponsor, and he's just a great guy, and getting to meet Ben Hansen and a lot of folks that I'd maybe known on internets, but never had a chance to really interact with. Dave Monroe, got to hang out with Dave, and stuff like that, and it was great. But them days, they're pretty much over with, guys. I need to focus on family, at least. As long as these kids are in these very special years in the 9, 10, 11, 12 range, I'm never going to get another crack at this one, folks. And I got to do it right.
Sometimes you got to slow down and experience life.
Yep. And I've had so much fun at the cons. It's been great, but it's just not who I am anymore. So it's all good. It's all good.
Just makes it all more impressive when he makes his way back triumphantly.
Exactly, and that'll happen someday. Someday, maybe when my boys are older. If Charlie continues to show interest in miniatures gaming, I'll be there. I'll be his roadie. So
there you go.
There you go.
All right. Robert Dresky, the flight medic himself, asks, how would you feel about doing a back to basics series on painting?
Well, I think it'd be a great idea. I think that somebody has to do it. Right now there's a ton of stuff out there for advanced painting and stuff like that, and less for the basics. I think that's a great concept. I don't know that I necessarily have the time to do it myself, but I think that somebody out there ought to do it. Maybe Robert, you should.
Somebody definitely should get somebody out there, because honestly, I'm very self-taught painter, so I actually skip a couple of the basics. I learn by watching rather than actually getting lessons. So occasionally someone's doing something basic. I'm like, oh, well, shit, that makes it easier.
I don't know. What do you want to? Maybe we should do some back to basics type stuff here in the new year, John, where we turn
Maybe
it.
we can work out a schedule where we do one like every once in a while.
Yeah, maybe one a month.
Or one a quarter, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll confab on it. I'll have my people call your people. We'll do lunch.
Yeah, we'll do lunch. All right. Well, next is, this one's slightly awkward, but let's hit it anyways because he asked. And I'm getting all these questions answered, damn it.
There you go.
John Snodgrass goes, any tips to keep a long-distance relationship viable over the long haul?
You have a podcast together. At first I figured this one. At first I figured, what the hell is John asking us? And I was like, aw, he saw the wedding cake that I did for the thumbnail, and it was like, that's for you and me. And so the key to it is to only talk to each other once a week, and
More or less.
more or less, and have a great time when you're together. There you go.
Absolutely. Like I said, for any relationship, you want to maximize the time together. Don't worry about the time apart.
Yep. So, on behalf of 3 years, John, hey, Ron.
Ron.
Man, Strongbow's fucking legit.
Ooh, I'm not sure drinking alcohol was the best idea ever, but
Rave Bomb, because you are so adamant about wanting some back to basics, we are going to do this.
There you go.
So, we're going to make it a thing.
All right. Well, our last question.
God damn.
We kind of answered this already. Austin Gardner goes, wish list for new models they want to see this year, factions, and what it would do. I think we actually did a little bit of that last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. I don't know that I necessarily have a whole lot to say on this one. I will take less models and PP giving casual players something to do.
Yep.
There. That's my answer for that question.
If you want to hear more on that conversation, you
Become
got to be a patron.
Become a patron.
You got to jump on there and get that preamble.
That's right.
It was gold this time. This is one of our great ones.
Yeah, this was actually a legitimate discussion about kind of what's gone sideways with the war machines. We even had Owen. And I don't even know if Owen is still in the chat room or not. I
don't think so.
I don't think he is, but that's fine. I'm refreshing the chat room now to see who's there, and it'll suck. Yep. I'm only showing 3 people in the chat room right now, and 2 of them are you and me, John.
Really? I got 10.
Yeah, it says more, but when I went to bring up the people, it was hardly anybody there. But that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, no worries.
That's just Twitch being Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch being Twitch. So that's all the questions for this week. We got through them plus an extra one. So
Yeah, well, that's
thumbs
great.
up.
That's great. So it's been good. It's been a good 3 years. I mean, I think it's something that we've kept the positivity. We've we're bringing back the painting, which is I think something that made this show what it was. And I kind of got away from it a little bit. We're going to get back into that here. What do you think what do we want to do in 2016, John? We're kind of spitballing here a little bit.
I think 2016, you guys are going to hear a lot more about other games. I mean,
Yeah.
coming from the more active War Machine player, I haven't played a War Machine player in a couple weeks. Honestly, it's hard to get games in right now. The new store doesn't have the same pickup community on the weekends, which is when I'm really available. And when I have been, I've been teaching some of the locals how to play Malifaux.
Yep.
That's what we're in right now. But there'll still be games. There'll still be painting. There'll still be the Johns.
I'm looking at next year. I mean, I want to play some Guild Ball. I want to. I'm going to be done with my trolls here very soon. There's once the trolls are done. I mean, I'm going to probably take over within. I would expect by January I should be fully painted, with trolls if I put some focus on it. I want to get back into Rivet Wars. And do some videos about Rivet Wars because it was really fun. I had a great time doing it. I want to do some. So we'll be talking a little bit about that game. We'll be talking a little bit about. What else are we going to talk about? We've got. I want to play some X-Wing with the boys. Haven't done that for a while. I still think X-Wing's better than what's his face than Armada.
I don't know. I haven't played enough to really judge. But have you seen the new the TIE carrier for X-Wing?
No, please. What is that?
It's like I forget the name of it. It's some freighter class where it holds 4 ties, and they made it. They got the little couplings on the bottom. They actually made it so the TIE fighters plug into it, so you can actually have them on the carrier as it's moving along.
That's pretty cool.
They're sort of upside down if you want to be a stickler, but I don't care. They get full points for making them attachable. It's kind of legit.
So I'll have to keep an eye on that. I mean, X-Wing's a really fun Baron Pretzels miniatures game.
Yeah, as long as you keep it Baron Pretzels, it's one of those games that you can take it too seriously, but as long as you take it in the manner I feel like it's more meant to be played, it's gonna be a great time.
Yep, and I want to play more board games with the kids. I mean, I want to. My 12-year-old is I think ready to grasp some of the deeper games. I think this week with my younger son being in Texas with his mom, I think we're gonna bust out Space Hulk.
Oh, sweet! Space Hulk's a legit game.
Yep, and I think he's totally 100% ready for it. Work through the missions and stuff like that. He'll groove on the fact that it's an unbalanced play style. So I'll play. We'll do the rules say where you play. One person plays the Tyranids one time, and the other one plays the Blood Angels the other time, and so on and so forth.
The whole scenario tracks. That's a super fun way to play it.
So we'll bust that out, and I think he'll groove on the miniatures and stuff like that. I haven't painted any of them, but maybe that'll be my inspiration to paint those. Paint my miniatures for.
Which version of Space Hulk do you have?
3rd edition.
3rd edition. Okay.
That was the first time
That's
they did the
with the-
super version.
What's that?
It was the first time they did the super deluxe edition.
Okay, yeah, that's legit. I have 2nd edition.
Yep.
Here's a little secret.
Mhm.
Space Hulk was my first GW game ever.
Nice.
A guy named David Frank was an outrider, came in and demoed it for our club at the Anne Arundel Community College, and we had a great time. Ended up using some of our funds to pick it up.
So the miniatures are beautiful. They're straight up GW Space Marines. And
Brave Bomb suggests a game called Steampunk Rally. Build and race steampunk vehicles. Sounds super cool.
Interesting.
It's like drafting and dice placement.
Huh.
Definitely, I'll give it a look. See.
Yep.
I'm open to get more role-playing games in too. Me and El Marshall are working on getting some of the other jokers in our group to run some games so we can actually role-play together. And one of my older buddies, who's also named John, but we call him Norrin because that was his old name in the old BBS days, if you want to go back that far.
Wow.
Yeah. He's going to make a triumphant return, and role-playing with him is a hoot. We've had some great games together, and I miss that. So hopefully that'll come too, and I'll have some more role-playing stories for you guys.
Yep. New Year's Eve here at Casa John is going to with Charles being gone, We were at Bell and I were talking about what do we want to do, and I think what we're going to do is we've decided we're going to have each of us is going to pick a game that we want to play, and the other two are going to be okay with whatever they choose, and we're going to play at least 3 board games that night, and we're going to just have fun with it. So I've decided what I'm going to impose upon my other players on that one. I kind of want to have them do a demo game of War Machine and Hordes or Guild Ball just to so I can start to teach them. But whatever,
Guild Ball might be better, but yeah.
Guild Ball will
I
probably
think
be better.
I think New Year's Eve, Morton Joe's having a get together. We'll see. He's a little further away from me than is easily comfortable on New Year's Eve.
No, I understand.
We'll see though. I mean, if there's nothing else, I mean, not like you're at work the next day or anything to worry about. I can actually hang out. But I think New Year's Eve, I do plan on leaving work. We get off work early. I do have to work New Year's Eve though, and I'm gonna go see Force Awakens again.
There you go. I've seen it twice now.
I've only seen it once. I was gonna see it New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, but when I got off work, it was like an hour to the showing, and the math wasn't working out great with me being able to come home, get some stuff I had to get done, and then go to Christmas Eve dinner at my cousin John's house.
Yep.
Also named John for convenience.
There you go. So
It's a good name.
Yep. So I think that's actually what you're going to see more of here. We're going to keep on focusing on the hobby aspect. We're going to keep the positivity. We're going to keep the hardcore casual. But we're going to probably be focusing less on War Machine and Hordes because I think there's a world of games out there, folks, and we would be foolish to sit on our laurels and try to just only talk about that one thing. There's more fun to be had. So why not have it? So why not have it? So we should talk movies, huh?
Yeah, it's about that time.
So what do you? I'm going to put you up on the John cam because that's what I do about this time.
John Cam.
Yeah, Spencer cam. There we go. And I'm going to turn it over to you, John. You what were your movies for this week?
Well, I'm going to start off by showing the movies I didn't watch.
Okay.
That I got from my mom. I got The Rocketeer on Blu-ray because The Rocketeer.
Yep. Good times.
If you haven't seen The Rocketeer, you'll hear a review of it soon. Then I got a 4-pack here. You probably can't see it.
Flash Gordon, The Last Starfighter. Dude,
Yep.
Holy fuck, that's a great DVD.
It is. Now, I already had these two, Flash Gordon and Battlestar Galactica, on DVD, but honestly, the other two are worth it. And honestly, so much more convenient when your shelf starts to get a little bit full. So there you go. You can look forward to probably at least 2 of those movies, maybe even all 4 coming up here soon.
Now, Battlestar Galactica is that a movie of the Lauren Green generation?
Oh yeah, it's the pilot episode. It's the pilot episode, about 2 hours long or so. It's pretty legit. It sort of takes the first couple episodes and smashes them together. Honestly, if someone was in Battlestar Galactica and like, I don't want to watch the whole series, but I want to get an idea what it was about, you hand them that and they're good. Because it tells a story. It's like if you were to want to say, I want to know what the new Battlestar Galactica is kind of about, but don't want to watch the whole series. You show them the 5-hour long, pilot, and you watch those.
Cool.
Same sort of idea. You get the gist of it. Because honestly, I feel like there's some good episodes in the reboot of Battlestar Galactica, some really good ones, but the pilot was great, and it got most of the theme they were trying to get to the series through in that little 5-hour chunk.
Got it.
What I did watch this week is a little movie starring Brandon Lee, and I've reviewed quite a few of his movies before. Well, quite a few of his library, percentage-wise.
Yeah.
So I watched Rapid Fire, which is a movie I love from my childhood, starring Brandon Lee and Powers Booth. And a couple of those guys. You're like, I recognize that guy, but no one else with an actual name.
Okay.
The closest I get is Dustin Gwen. Dustin Gwen? I can't pronounce his last name. He's Thai. He was in 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
That's the closest you get to someone else is like, oh, that guy. A couple other people like that, but I didn't recognize their names. I was like, I recognize that guy, but I don't know his name. It's basically Brandon Lee is a college student. His father was in the military, attached to the Beijing embassy, and got crushed by a tank in Tiananmen Square.
Well, that sucks for him.
during the whole little revolt there, and that's sort of an underlying theme to parts of the movie. And I actually really give him hats off. It gives the character some reason why he doesn't like certain things and plays off later in the movie. He witnesses, they someone lures him unsuspectingly into talking about it at a rally for it because he's not really interested. And at the rally, there's this other plot going on where this drug dealer is trying to cut out the middleman and take more of the profits.
Mm-hmm.
And he witnesses the murder, and so the FBI is like, "Oh, we need you to testify," and then it goes from there. It's pretty much a classic action movie. I mean, it's a classic '80s action movie. It's got all the standard tropes, pretty much. It's just a competently done action movie, and it's kind of cool because Brandon Lee does a little bit of combination of kick-ass martial arts and actual, like Jackie Chan style, use your environment. He's faced with guys with guns a lot of times, and he's not like, it's not like he immediately becomes some super gunman action hero. That wouldn't really fit him. What he does is he kicks people's butts, and he kicks them very well.
Cool.
So there are scenes of him, he's occasionally like drawer full of utensils thrown in someone's face, using the freezer door in someone's face. It's very cool. It's very fun. It's very I don't want to say believable, but it's definitely at that medium level of reality where you're like, okay, I can kind of see most of the things happening.
Sure.
And it ends in the standard way of a totally gratuitous bad guy death.
Which is so popular in that era of stuff too.
Oh yeah. But I really enjoy the movie. Again, like most things, it's something I loved in my childhood. Still love it now. I'm gonna give it slightly better than an average action movie. I'm giving it a shot and a half a crack, and it is a little bit dated, and the dialogue at points is a little cheesy. I mean, Powers Booth is in it, and Powers Booth is great, but boy, he lays it on thick a couple times.
Powers Booth.
It was relatively young Powers Booth, honestly. You're like, wow, because I've seen him recently on Agents of Shield. No spoilers there. I've seen him. Not gonna tell you what he's doing.
He's in season 3.
Yeah.
I just finished season 2.
Okay. Season 2, huh? Pretty good.
Oh fuck yeah! That finale was amazing.
That series is a little slow getting going, but really enjoy the hell out of it.
Yep, I love that show.
But Powers Booth, because so little secret here, Powers Booth was in the Avengers movie. He was one of the World Council.
Oh.
And he actually shows back up as that same character, I believe.
Huh.
I like Powers Booth. He's got he's one of those good. We don't have a lot of money for one of the real heavy hitters, but he can definitely pull his weight.
How's his weight these days? Because he was kind of a big boy.
He's a little chubby, but I mean,
right.
Who isn't at their older age?
There you go. Yeah, including us.
Yeah, so there you go. Shot and a half a Kraken, rapid fire. Definitely watch it if you get a chance. You guys probably won't like it as much as I do, since again, that whole childhood thing. I didn't want to subject John necessarily to it, since my track record with John in action movies is kind of poor.
Not awesome.
We'll
work on it.
I'm a little more desensitized to violence and craziest sex scenes ever than you are, I guess.
Oh my god. I will never be the same after the worst sex scene ever starring Dolph Lundgren.
So what did you watch this week, John, aside from probably The Force Awakens again?
Well, I did watch The Force Awakens again, as you mentioned. I watched, let's see, I started watching Star Trek Nemesis.
Ugh.
And then I stopped watching it, and I never went back to it. I started watching, let's see, I did watch Love Actually, which is a movie that is, it is my favorite Christmas movie. It stars... Martin Freeman is in it, but it's got Hugh Grant. It has the guy that played Snape from Harry Potter.
Hans Gruber?
Alan Rickman.
You just call him Hans Gruber. We know what you mean.
Okay, and so he's in there. We had it. It's a series of intertwined vignettes about love and relationships and Christmas time. And
I think you've reviewed it before. It's one of your picks.
Yep, it is one of my picks. And so Christmas time, watching Love Actually is sort of a tradition with Belle and I, and it is a wonderful movie. If you're looking for a very nice Christmas movie, Love Actually. That's a movie that I watched. Me and the kids and Belinda caught up on Agents of Shield and watched like 4 or 5 episodes, so that was great. And caught up with the season 2, and now I'm sad because the Hulu has decided that they can only have certain number of episodes of things. So
plus apparently Netflix is going to be the carrier of choice for everything Disney related.
Oh boy, so it's
I
going to
think
go
I
off
heard
of,
that.
So it's going off
It's
of Hulu, huh?
Disney's definitely choosing one of the major 3, if you will: Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Netflix to be theirs. And I think it was Netflix is going to be the prime Disney carrier.
Well, then eventually it'll get there someday, and that's great. Hopefully,
I forgot to mention this for Christmas. Immortan Joe, apparently sick of hearing me say I don't have a Netflix subscription, sent me a gift card to buy Netflix with.
yay! So now we can watch Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
Yay! So that's good. And then that was it. I mean, mostly for the first time in like 7 years, I hooked my, I hooked up my good AV radio stereo and good AV speakers up down in Ron's pub. So it was fun watching shows with great soundtracks. So and playing Battlefront on the PS4 with with a great subwoofer made it all worthwhile.
You enjoying Battlefront?
I love that freaking game. It's the best way to die over and over and over again.
I played the first and second ones back on PlayStation 2, I think. I love the first one. The second one was pretty good too, but I wasn't as big a fan of some other stuff. But it was always a good time.
Oh my god, it's so much fun to just like run at things and then die. And I'm just not good at the game. I don't care. You can pick up power-ups and end up flying, driving an AT-AT or flying an X-wing or a TIE fighter or what have you, and it's good fun. There's no two ways about it. Really good fun.
Mention, Battlefront 1, they had their mission pack where I went through all the missions.
Mm-hmm.
The actual Battle of Hoth mission was one of the hardest things I've ever done on a video game that was actually doable, and you're like, I can see how you can do it, but man, it was tough without being frustrating, which is the hardest thing to do in a video game. So hats off there.
Yep, good times. So enjoying the living hell out of it. I'm no damn good at it, but so just I see that Sarah Jane Chu, who is a friend of the show, has just got a PS4 for Christmas, so she sent me a thing. So it's good times. Looking forward to it. Continuing to play that, and then just looking forward to the 2016 in general, I guess. 2015 was probably the best year I've had in the last, I don't know how many years. I know your year has been more challenging, that's for sure. And but
it happens.
But you know what, John? I'm going to tell you that there's light at the end of that there tunnel, and it's going to get there for you.
Look, a little gushy. I'll be honest. There were some weeks that doing the podcast kept me going. So, something to look forward to. It was always good.
Well, then, by gosh, you know what we ought to probably do here is probably keep on doing this show.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go ahead and call this one a show, buddy. This has been 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. Ron.
Hey, Ron. And so, these little icons that they have in the chat room?
Yeah.
How do you make that minimize? How do you get rid of that damn thing once you get it open?
I don't know.
I don't
click
know
on the smiley face on the chat message thing again.
I did, and it doesn't go away. It's weird.
Oh, mine opens up, then goes away. Opens up, it goes away.
Broken. That's great. So I won't see half of the comments that have been going on in here. But, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for 3 years. We're going to keep on doing the show. And, if you like what we're doing and you want it to keep going, I'd appreciate it if you would consider being a patron of the show over here at patreon.com/menothjohn. It does certainly help keep the lights on and help pay for some of the hosting and things like that we do with the show. So on behalf of myself, Menoth John, I'm going to get the music potted up here. because that's what we do at the end of the show. There it is. Brushheads, it's been 3 years. Appreciate it more than you can possibly imagine. And on behalf of my co-host with the most, Mr. John Spencer, up there in the window of doom, and I am over here at in the basement doing the things. I'm Menoth John, and we will see you next week. This time at Sunday night on Painting with Menoth John. Good night, everybody.